Okay. I think we should be live. Would be amazing to get confirmation from someone. But we'll start with introductions anyway. I'm really excited to have the co-founder of one of the original, most original projects on the ElrondNetwork with me today, which is Ben Miller of ElrondNFT. They were one of the first projects that I think I really noticed on the Elrond chain. Really excited to talk to you today, Ben. I'll explain the format to myself and you and the audience, which is this time we're going to just chat, take like 15 minutes, chat about the project, Elrond, whatever else we can think of, and then we'll jump into a game of chess and take questions if anybody has any, and also we'll do some banter and whatnot. So first of all, welcome Ben. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, Lucas, thanks for having me. I'm excited to to chat about our project. We spent a lot of time talking over Discord, so it's nice to kind of meet face to face and chat in person, or as much as in person as this gets.
Yeah. Speaking of, that's maybe a cool introduction. Maybe talk about your the project. What is it, ENFT, as well as maybe connect it to even the real life event, or we actually had something where you guys had something similar to sort of like this call where you guys let knowledgeable people share about crypto and Elrond in particular as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's kind of like a brief background about myself first, and then I'll dive into kind of what we've been trying to do at ENFT DAO, why we started what we've done, and like you said, like the in-person kind of physical, vocal communication that I think we like to try and drive on our project. So my name is Ben. I've been in the San Francisco Bay Area for the past decade or so. And one of my good friends, Chris, who's the other co-founder of this, him and I would take almost daily walks, walking our dogs, and just chatting about crypto, chatting about where we saw the world going and what were some kind of investment opportunities that we could make on the NFT side. So we were degenerate on the Cardano network, on the AVAX network.
Were those your first two? Or did you get into Bitcoin or anything earlier than that?
Well, invested in Bitcoin a few years ago, right before the last crypto winter. Bitcoin and a number of different altcoins as well at that time. And then really dove back into it a little over a year ago, with some small investment into Elrond, and then when it came time to the NFT side of things, that's where we were heavily focused on ADA and AVAX on the Avalanche network. So kind of went through the process of going through the whitelists, going through the mints, joining a million different Discord channels, following a million different Twitter accounts, and minting and flipping, minting and holding, and kind of got a lot of ideas about what's a good user experience? What are some of the projects we liked? What are some of the projects that did things that we didn't like? We're part of some rugs.
Do you want to shout any of those out? Any notables that people might know?
We were in on the mint for the Coco Locos on ADA. I think they sold out in about 2 minutes, and then floor prices shot up. I think I mint and flipped for 10x of some of the ones I got. Then the founders came out a day later and said, this was all just a test. We're refunding everybody's money and shutting the project down. And it was, nightmare for those that weren't able to get in on a mint. It kind of one of those experiences that you remember as being like, this is not how you should be building community.
Yeah.
this is not a community. This is, this was a play. It seemed like very much just like come in, grab the money and run. So, but picked up things about what do we like from how Discords operate, channel setups or ways they do things. You've been around for a while. You voice verified for our fellowship. And that was one of the things that we really liked when we came across it was this, I can't remember the project. I wish I could, but they asked you to state an oath or verbally say something in order to get access to certain channels.
Yeah.
And we loved it because it was a way for us to connect, outside of just typing on a keyboard. So getting to develop kind of a tighter knit community was something that we wanted to do. And so when we decided to create, an NFT series on the ElrondNetwork, we first wanted to reward those who would take part in that verbal kind of oath, and that was our on-chain warriors. And from there, I don't know, we've all heard from Chris, the man has a mind that just mushroom clouds out. And so where we are now is with building out a marketplace, and the focus still remains community and building that tight-knit community for us.
So let's rewind to sort of the beginning. Is your personal background anything in finance or crypto? How did you even? I know Chris obviously did some finance stuff in the Valley.
Yes. So Chris has a background in economics and sales, and my background is on the marketing side and in project and program management. So. In terms of our skills kind of aligning to manage this outside of one of us being able to actually develop out, everything on our end, we could handle the front end and the growth side of things. So, making sure that we're building community the right way and making sure that we're following a roadmap that we believe will keep us on track and get things out the door and in the manner that we think best benefits everybody. So, yeah, I've worked at companies like YouTube and Adobe and some larger places, and also been involved in some startups out here that have gone public. So, my preferred choice is to build. And I believe Chris feels the same way, and that we both would rather build the ship and make sure we have the right, I guess, to keep with the ship metaphor, crew on board and everybody rowing in the right direction instead of coming on board and just making sure that things keep smooth sailing. There's bumps and bruises with building things, but I would much rather do that each day of the week than work at a large company where I have to just do the same rote task over and over and over again.
And you guys have been friends even before any of this, obviously, right? Had a long relationship, and then so you guys basically started talking about crypto and investing in crypto, dabbling in crypto, and then getting into sort of more community projects that NFTs sometimes are, and then you decided you wanted to start your own thing. How did that sort of come about?
Yeah, so we started informally chatting about crypto. Chris had a health issue that came up, and so he was able to spend a lot of time researching. And since we would spend quite a bit of time together, I just started soaking up information and then doing research on my own. And then it was, let's get into this NFT thing. And then it was, okay, well, why don't we? And Chris had the idea to work with another one of his family members on an NFT project as kind of a way to get this person who just graduated from school kind of involved in crypto and thinking, you're a software developer, here's the space you should be in, here's a soft entry into this by you and I working on this project together. So I was informally helping the two of them out. His other family member ended up dropping out. So at that point, Chris and I just kind of grabbed the reins and ran with it. And I think, we decided we wanted to build on the ElrondNetwork because we saw the sense of community just from Twitter just from the interactions that people had, and we saw the potential for growth. So, there are some other networks. There are some other networks out there that are more established in the NFT space, have more projects, and we saw an opportunity with the Elrond network that we could get in early, and kind of help shape, at least, I mean, this might be a little conceited, but help shape the culture of the projects on the network. And our vision has always been to not only sell NFTs and now make sure that, we've built out a platform that other people can buy and sell their NFTs on, but give back to the community and also educate the community as well. NFTs are such a small sliver of the crypto world, and when you're in it day in and day out, you think it's much larger than it is, but we need to kind of continue to educate on other aspects outside of just NFTs. And that's where, leads us into, I guess, what you've semi-touched on was our online webinar that we had last quarter.
Tell us about that. That was planned as an in-person event, an NFT. You had to buy a Vault NFT as a ticket, and then of course COVID was sort of an issue with on all sorts of levels, but especially with these larger gatherings, and you guys took it online.
Yeah, so we were planning on launching our an in-person event, and we had a schedule set up. We'd reached out, we'd gotten a number of speakers, essentially, for the most part, people that had already spoken or that committed to speak and spoke at the online event. But our goal, again, was to drive the community aspect of bringing people together. And unfortunately, we had, multiple places that we had reached out to and connected with, either back out of agreements due to COVID or, just say in advance we're not doing anything in larger gatherings at this time. But we had planned for a weekend-long event with breakout sessions and the opportunity to meet face-to-face with many of the people that you've developed relationships with, and then also learn from kind of top minds on the Elrond network across, various aspects of investing or community. So one of our focuses has been on not only NFTs, of course, but we had Wesley speak about Web3. We had Jacob from Art of Finance speak. Sever joined us as well. We had Kevin, who's been an amazing advisor for us, talk about staking. At Helios staking. And then we had Amanda and Manda come on and speak to us about projects they're working on and their experiences. And the focus has been to kind of continuously drive that women in crypto as well. Like those two are some of the sharpest minds we have. So empowering everybody to know that they have a voice here.
Yeah, I mean, that's also something that's very special, I think, about ENFT, or to me anyway. Like, one thing is you guys are really trying to create a DAO, and it was from the outset sort of the goal that you've been committed to. You guys had like these circles of selected community members who were, trying to sort of figure out which direction makes sense. That was sort of in the earlier days of it. And of course, like, one of the great focuses that I think when you just mentioned, like, empowering women and inclusivity in general, like, that is. Do you want to just talk a little bit about the ethos and the sort of idea behind ENFT in terms of, striving for a better future, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, right, we're building out a DAO, and we've had these, Chris has imparted on me and made a big impact in my life as well with this. Is he's very much into mindfulness. It's something that he focuses on. When we have team meetings, we make sure to take a mindful moment or two, and really just making sure that we're living in the present moment and we're having an understanding of the other person or the other people that are out there. Everybody's got something going on in their life. So a big part about us is empathy. It's easy. It can be easy to take shots at other projects when you're building or other people that might not agree with you. But our focus here really is to build. And that doesn't mean just build ourselves, but build others around us as well. So, we're trying to raise, to speak in another metaphor, a rising tide raises all ships. And our goal is to kind of rise the tide for everybody in the Elrond network so that we all can make it. And we're trying to establish that with our DAO by empowering people within it. And it's still a work in progress. It's got a ways to go. But we've tried to have the members of our DAO split themselves up based upon what they believe their strengths are, whether that's being a builder on the technical side or building community, or you're more of a creative person and you've got the ability to create art or music, or you are a lawmaker. Right? We've got lawmakers and facilitators. So lawmakers who can come up with ideas for how the DAO should be organized and how should we function and what are the steps that we should take to do that. And facilitators are ones who take a look and get events like this going, or make sure that everybody has educational opportunities and is able to read the materials. So as our DAO continues to form and grow, it's really leaning into the fact that we are all here working together for a common goal, and we're all organized internally by how we believe we can make the most impact. And yeah, I think I covered that. Is there anything more?
Yeah, I think one of the compelling aspects is also the financial freedom and sort of the universal basic income, or user-based income or something that you guys call it. Maybe talk about that, and then sort of let's dive into UBI as well.
Yeah, so a big thing for us, and we're just scratching the surface of this, and it's a grand vision, but the extreme poverty level is noted at $1.90 per day, and we're big components of Andrew Yang over here and his universal basic income, and the fact that if you can just provide even a small amount of money per day, that takes some of the pressure off people, that whether that's having to choose between gas and groceries or this or that, these needs that people have on a daily basis, that can alleviate a lot of pressure, a lot of tension on somebody's lives, and free them up to potentially be able to explore something that can provide them even more growth opportunities. So our focus with the UBI Marketplace is to give back to the community, make it a community-owned marketplace. And how we've come up with that is to take 2% of every transaction and give it back to the community. So marketplaces out there, kind of from OpenSea down and around, on average, take about 2.5% per transaction and pocket that. And we believe that if a community is buying and selling their NFTs on a platform, that they should also be owners of that. And how can you be an owner in that? Is you can receive part of the profits that come from each transaction that takes place. So our aim is to, with 2% of each transaction, our goal is to ultimately be able to provide $2 a day to someone who can come in and at first most likely take a test to prove that they are human, earn some sort of free NFT that allows them to, when they check in and do a human verification CAPTCHA, then receive their percentage of the profits that took place from the previous day. So, we want to continue to drive financial literacy. And by doing that, they'll, answer a few questions, maybe do some readings or watch some videos that are out there. We've got tons of resources from people in the community who are infinitely smarter than myself, and have done a lot of research into why the Elrond network is the place to be, a lot of research into crypto and Web3 in the future, and where we're headed. So providing that financial literacy to everybody, and then also verifying that they're human, and give them, at that point, then part of the ownership of the marketplace through the transaction fees.
And as I understand, it's the Regal Eagle NFT, right? That's gonna be the key to the profit share, or is that a different model?
So yes, so during our alpha phase, holders of Regal Eagles, On-Chain Warriors, and Eagle Vaults, so any one of our 3 collections, will receive the profit sharing on this. As we exit alpha, we'll continue to have a pool reserved for our NFT holders, and then expand on that for the rest of the Elrond community, and hopefully beyond down the road to partake in those rewards as well. But we're going to make sure that, at least for the near-term future, that while we're continuing to build out features and everything, during alpha phase, it is for holders of our 3 series.
Cool. Let's maybe start a game of chess and then keep chatting. I'm especially interested in the sort of financial literacy part. I've challenged you here. I'll put our video somewhere here-ish.
All right.
Yeah. The financial literacy, it's something that I'm super passionate about as well, especially teaching it to kids. Is there any, so talk to me about sort of the idea behind that, what's perhaps lacking in the education system, not only in the US, but in the world, and how you guys want to sort of try and address that. And also play a move because you're white.
Yeah, I think, right, we spend a lot of time in the education system growing up. You learn about, what is it? What are the 3 different types? And I'm not bagging on science in any manner. What are the 3 types of clouds that are out there? What are, the breakdown of the mitochondria cells, or these aspects that if you're a biologist or that's the field of study that you're getting into, are incredibly valuable. But what we don't spend time on is how to do your taxes, how to financially plan for your future, what goes into a, why should you put money in a 401k? What is a 401k? What is, passive interest or passive income? We don't touch any of those aspects. And what we do is we have these young adults, 17, 18 years old. And at least in the United States, we say, you can't drink, and we haven't really taught you anything about economics, but now you can go to a 4-year university and you can take out a student loan with an incredibly high interest rate, and you'll be carrying around debt for the next 20, 30, 40 years. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me. I am not a fan of that. And so what we want to do, at least, is just show that there are opportunities. Oh gosh.
Sorry, I had to take that.
All right. We just want to make sure that people are aware of how they can earn, right? What are some ways that you can earn money? For instance, staking, right? If you staked with Helios, right now you're earning about 12% interest for the year.
Mm-hmm.
This is, maybe back in the day when your parents were growing up, they'd say stick your money in a savings account, you'll earn interest that way. Now that is so fractional that the way I treat, for the most part, is my savings account is staking. I earn a higher percentage on that. I believe in the Elrond network that it's going to climb. And I believe that that's a safer spot for me to put my money than in a savings account, or even in an index fund on the stock market. So there's multiple ways that you can earn, whether it's through the market, whether it's through crypto, and it's just about awareness. So many people just aren't aware of these opportunities.
Yeah. And connected to that, maybe another thing that I know we talked about, or the DAO circles talked about, is sort of onboarding maybe our parents' generation, or maybe even our grandparents' generation. It's like into Web3 and sort of all the opportunities, not only interest rates, of course, right, but all sorts of other ways of sort of being in charge of your own finances and partaking in community projects and trying to build something. Is that how do you guys see that as a part of your project? Sorry, I'm taking your pieces. I apologize.
Yeah, I think there's a big potential, right, in figuring out how can we turn crypto into this nebulous thing, right? Like so many right now, it's if you think about cryptocurrency, there's this high barrier to entry. First off, there's hundreds, thousands of coins, and many of these require you to bridge over here and do this, and as soon as you require multiple steps to complete something, right, you lose a lot of people. One of the aspects that I love about Elrond is the fact that you've got just the MyR app, which is incredibly intuitive and incredibly easy to use, and that's the type of thing that needs to be done more in the crypto world, which is make things functional for the everyday user who doesn't, who maybe has a Coinbase account, or maybe just has, access to Binance or whatever it is that they know about the exchanges, but they don't know necessarily about all the other steps that are required to go into making some of these crypto investments. Because it's not
checkmate you now. Okay.
Did you just beat me? Oh God. Wait, is that really?
Because the knight, is blocking the escape squares. And,
yeah.
Good game. Sorry, but I really didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's.
Is that something that kind of drew you to Elrond specifically as well over other chains? The sort of Maya accessibility and stuff. I'm going to set up a new game with fewer pieces for me. Okay.
Yep, that works. Yeah, absolutely. The things right now that people complain about the most, right, are the Ethereum gas fees, and accessibility, right? Like anything else out there. Like I loved Avalanche. Cardano was incredibly slow. I loved Avalanche Network, but trying to get AVAX when I was first getting into it involved 3 or 4 different steps and bridges, and the person who doesn't know anything about crypto, who has a basic level in it, is not going to do that. They're not going to understand that they need to take 4 or 5 steps in order to get something, and they're going to be concerned when they it's not immediately showing up in their wallet. So the MyR app was a big thing for me with a marketing background. How can you get your product in people's hands as fast as possible and as easy as possible? And then that app allows the ElrondNetwork to kind of be in front of people. We all know the gas fees are marginal at best, at most. So those were 2 main things, and it's incredibly fast.
I'm failing at grading this challenge somehow. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Keep going though. So that sort of like that lowering the threshold is basically the theme, right? Where you're trying to get people into a game not a chess game, but into something that they can actually handle in terms of logistics and the like how complicated it is, etc. Oh, I did everything right. You need to accept my challenge. That's it.
Oh, I see. I haven't received a new.
On the top right, you should see like those crossed swords. That should be.
It says I have no challenges, so I need to leave this game. Maybe I need to leave that game. All right, and then now.
You see it?
Nope, I haven't had anything.
I do blame myself, no matter whether it's your fault or not. Now?
No challenges.
Fuck me. Well, you keep chatting about Elrond and what attracted you guys to it. Now, if you see a challenge appear, just click it. Otherwise, I need to play Amir. He's online. Shout out to Amir and the first guest on the show. Help create this format. Elrond.
Yeah, I think I think it's an important thing, right, to onboard, and Elrond talks about it. Onboard the next billion users, right? Like we need to get more people onto crypto, and how is to do that and make it as simple as possible. Think about the end user in mind. Think about the future user and not just the current kind of crypto space, right? Like if you've been around for a while, you can understand a lot of different things that you need to do. So when a new coin currency aspect comes out, it can be very simple for those of us to pick up. But we need to be thinking about what about those that aren't necessarily in this space right now. Let's think 3 months down the road. Let's think 6 months. Let's think 3 years, 6 years down the road. And I think the Elrond team has done a great job about thinking about that user. And so we've tried to do the same thing when we're building out and when we're explaining things. It's we have a blog and we've written posts about why we chose the ElrondNetwork, what are NFTs. We try and break things down at a very basic level to establish a firm foundation for people. And it's why when we, on the UBI Marketplace, we've tried to make it as easy as possible. We talk about 3 words incessantly, internally, and they're safe, fast, and easy. Make the marketplace safe. Not only does it need to be safe, it needs to feel safe.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you're losing your money, or you don't know where your money's gone, or you don't know if this transaction's gone through or hasn't been approved, or here we go.
Yeah. I didn't manage. I'm not gonna make it, I guess. Sorry. But
that's fine. We can.
I'll manually give you odds. So safe, fast.
Yes, safe, fast, and easy. Right. So it needs to feel safe and be safe. You know where your assets are. You know where your money is, and you know that it's secure. Then it also it needs to be fast, right? Like you don't want transaction speeds, especially on the ElrondNetwork, to be measured in minutes, right? So we try to make sure everything is measured in seconds.
Yeah.
Not minutes, right? So we've done, so you can list an NFT, you can buy, you can withdraw, you can mint in seconds. And then it's easy, right? Like ultimately, and we're continuing to build out features around this. But everything we want to do is going to be, try and make it as easy as possible for you to find the product you're looking for, find the NFTs, find what's for sale, find what's you're interested in purchasing, and easily do the transactions that you want to do. Mm-hmm. So those 3 words are our big focus and have been and continue to be our big focus as we build out the marketplace.
And also one thing that we sort of touched on, you guys are actually one of the sort of like more prolific projects in terms of how many NFTs you've released. Do you want to talk about the 3 ones you've had, and especially the first one? Actually, I think you might have even done that before I had the chance to get. Why didn't you take my bishop?
I didn't even see it. Yep. Couldn't see. Wait, I don't think I.
Well, you have a queen and I don't, so that's you have that going for you.
Could I get? I don't think I could reach.
No, you had a pawn here. You could have just taken my. I thought it was a good move that you made there. I thought it was nice.
Oh, they. Yeah.
So the on-chain warriors, right? That was, you minted that back when, like even October?
That was October, and those were on. Right, we minted those on the blockchain. So,
Yeah.
Those were in our beliefs, as far as we know, the first NFTs on the ElrondNetwork that were actually minted on the Elrond blockchain. And we did those free, outside of I think a 7-cent mint fee. But our goal there was to reward members who had joined our fellowship. Mm-hmm. So they are unique. Each one was created individually, and we minted those out for free to members of our fellowship, entirely on the Elrond blockchain. And then we did our Eagle vaults, which were, the main emphasis around Eagle vaults was the tickets to the NFTs event, right?
Can you sorry to interrupt?
And we believe also, I need to play, yeah.
No worries. But I'm curious because I don't know, like, what's the difference between an on-chain mint and like a mint as we usually or that usually happens? What's the sort of difference, and why did you decide to go with that instead of maybe more easy ways of doing a mint?
Yeah, well, we wanted it to be a special thing. So this means that all the data, all the information, all the metadata lives on the blockchain, not on, IPFS or something along those lines. So all that information is stored on the Elrond blockchain. And it was just our way of doing something for the community. It was, let's do this. It's a little bit more expensive on our end, but at the end of the day, we wanted to do it because, we wanted to signify we had longevity. We were going to be around here. We were going to stick around, and we wanted to make sure that we were sticking around on the ElrondNetwork. Mm-hmm. So it was just a way for us to signify what we were trying to do, what our goals are, and reward those who joined us from the beginning. If you were with us from the start, then we wanted to make sure that you and you voice verified and you went through that process, that you were able to mint one of these for free.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good move. I completely forgot about that. I was happily drawing arrows before, and now I feel super. There's hope.
Okay.
Are you still
Is that?
No, you have to move your knights to block the check. Otherwise you wouldn't check.
I was like, wait, I don't see the, yeah. Go ahead.
Are you still looking at other chains and stuff, or have you sort of become so engrossed in the community and stuff that is Elrond that you've sort of, I can only speak for myself, like I used to, I don't know, buy a new coin, token, whatever, basically per week or something, and do some research. Never been, that massively into crypto in terms of my investments, but
yeah.
Or in terms of the sort of percentage of my net worth that's in crypto, but like, are you even still able to keep up with anything else, or has all of this become so?
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. Yeah, I haven't in a while. Maybe here and there, I'll get a few minutes to try to do something. But yeah, this has become too much to where I wouldn't be able to devote the time that I wanted to actually learn and gain an understanding of, and make it what I would consider like a safer investment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, no. Right now, I mean, I've got the holdings that I have, and I'm leaving them there. And then I'll over time, maybe in the in the few months to come or in the future, I'll be able to dive back more into it. But for right now, yeah, it's just solely Elrond.
Did you even get into Ethereum, or is that too much work? Are you?
I did not get it. That's one thing, I think, right, we've made this pivot now. Well, not necessarily a pivot. It was always kind of on our roadmap of what we wanted to do. But we wanted to drive into convert into a marketplace, right?
Yeah.
We've made the transition from being an NFT project focused on selling our NFTs, and we still have quite a few Regal Eagles available for sale.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, a lot of focus on driving volume on our products. And now that we've transitioned to a marketplace, I think this fits our ethos much, much more, which, it has been community driven and community focused. So now we can really say, like, focus on other projects that are out there and driving volume for them, and making sure that they are, finding success and, minting on the UBI Marketplace or making sure that they're a verified project on the marketplace. But now we get to kind of use what we've built up as a platform to help other projects grow and other projects find success.
Yeah. Talk about, I mean, we've covered a lot of sort of good aspects of Elrond. Have there been difficult experiences? I mean, obviously everybody knows liquidity in Elrond is pretty low at the moment. Don't worry about time, by the way. I'll just add time to your clock. Are there any other sort of challenges you've experienced, complaints you want to address? Because clearly Benjamin is going to watch this and.
Not really. I mean, development is always tough, right? There's always, hiccups with trying to develop on top of an ever-changing platform.
Mm-hmm.
So, if anything, one of the challenges we've faced has just been on the development side with, maybe issues around getting, the ElrondNetwork making updates, and then our developers having to play catch up. So I think that's probably been, the biggest challenge. And liquidity, right? Like there's so many great projects out there. Everybody's having to choose, what do they want to invest in, and we're in a little bit of a down crypto market right now. There's a lot of extenuating factors going on around the world. So it's not necessarily the best time to mint or to, a lot of people have NFTs that they're holding on to. So, hopefully when we get out of this, the Elrond networks continue to grow, and the same with the UBI Marketplace, and we will be built into a strong position when liquidity comes back and people are ready to spend more.
Yeah, I'm in a very bad position here. I have to rely on your messing up. I mean, obviously, but but this is, I don't even know. I didn't mean for it to get that bad. Oh well.
You handicapped yourself.
I did, yeah, but that's fine. I didn't plan on losing a game. And now I'm sort of getting checkmated here.
I've got to figure out what's the. See, now I've got to do it. Now I'm.
Now I'll ask you complicated questions, so you can't.
I've got to figure out how I'm going to navigate this successfully, because I feel like I'm going to find a way. I'm not trying to, but all right. Let's see. Let's do this.
Okay. Seems like a reasonable move. To start things off here. Also, I want to sort of get back to the mindfulness and the things that sort of are unique, or at least I haven't seen them in anything else, on Elrond, and maybe not even in the crypto market. Are you aware of any other, like, sort of the headspace as NFT? Oh, that's nice.
Oh wow! Yeah, there we go. Just go ahead and take that. Yep.
Thank God, man. I was ready to hang up on you.
Well, I guess it was already level, now it's tilted back in your favor. It's like, yeah.
No.
In terms of the mindfulness aspect, I'm not sure in any other of the Elrond, communities that have been created. Unfortunately, I haven't had as much time as I might like to explore other projects and see what are other people doing, what are other projects out there doing. I wish I did, but so we're still, it's a huge ethos for us, and if other projects are out there doing it, I'd love to connect with them, because we want to partner with like-minded projects that are thinking about mindfulness and thinking about empathy and making sure that it's not just, we're not here. Yes, we all want financial freedom. We all are trying to make money, but that's not the end all be all. We want to do it the right way. And so that's been what we're driving for and what we're striving for, and hopefully that other people will see that, and when the marketplace adds a few more features, we can get more people utilizing it and get our name out there more often for that as well.
How many dogs do you have?
Just one. Just one. A dog named Jerry. Ben, we're Ben and Jerry. All right, so you moved.
I moved there. I gave you another bishop.
So I've got a quick question, chess question related to you. Have you ever heard of something called the Knights Tour?
The Knights Tour. I think that's a famous game, isn't it?
So you take the knight, and it's like a puzzle in a sense, and you have to move so it touches all 64 squares on the chessboard without landing on the same square twice.
Yeah, those are good visualization tasks. Like if you try to, like if I turn off, I can turn off. I'll do that maybe another stream. But basically, most chess players, decent chess players, know how to play blindfolded.
Oh wow!
And one of the ways of learning that is doing these visualization exercises. And I don't mean you have a nice move here. I guess I'm sharing my screen. I shouldn't suggest. Wait, no, that's a crab move. Don't play that move. But
now I'm looking at your screen, being like, where could I?
Well, you do have a here. Wherever you move that rook, like any place.
Yeah.
You'll have an attack on my rook. So maybe there's a way of exploiting that, but I don't really think there is a good way at the moment.
Then your rook would come kind of over the potentially.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't really be too worried about.
So the I forgot that I told you about this. So that's a big thing. The way to learn it is basically, or one of the ways to learn it is visualizing a knight making a bunch of moves. Because that's the trickiest sort of thing. So this knight is on the h5 square, right? And so you would try to learn like where this knight can jump, and then name all the squares. And then you will basically, in your head, you're going to pick the knight up, and you want to get it to some random square. on the board.
Yeah.
And then you'll try to figure out, okay, what's the fastest way, ignoring other pieces here, like to get that knight there, right? You can like go here. That's the fastest route. But then you have to do that in your mind. You're like knight h5 to f4, and from f4 to e2, and then from e2 to the c3 square, and then we can get to b8. And that's sort of how that's a good visualization exercise in terms of learning the board. And then, of course, like, once you know those kinds of things and how to do them, you can also, you should take my rook, by the way. You can also,
I can
you can take my rook. Look, you check my king. I thought it was for a reason. That's why I didn't play it here.
Wait, so you're saying
take the
you're there.
Saying take the rook, also don't lose the time. Okay.
Where's the rook? Oh, I see it. Yep. Okay. See, I gotta learn how to see the. Right now, I'm not seeing the board the way it's the.
Yeah. So that's something called full board awareness, which is sort of a a kind of a prerequisite to being able to thrive as a chess player.
Yeah.
And also another thing, by the way, as we sort of probably are nearing the end of this. If anybody has questions for Ben, I haven't really checked the Discord channel.
You can look and see there as well.
If there's anything there that people are curious about, let us know. I want to know the bald eagle thing. You're clearly not bald. You haven't lifted your head. But yesterday I saw that you had a nice head of hair. Why, of all things, the bald eagle?
Well, my very initial avatar was, oh man, all right. You saw the most basic thing that I was trying to do.
Shocking.
It was just a plain eagle on a plain background, right? So it was a bald eagle.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went with it, and then Chris has been Regal Eagle, and so kind of to play off of that, I went with the bald eagle. Now I just haven't had the heart to change it. Maybe at some point. Maybe at some point down the road I will, but no, bald eagle. It's at this point kind of a running joke for me, and now because now you know that I do have a nice head of hair here.
So was the eagle thing the Regal Eagle collection? Was that an idea from the get-go, or was that something you guys sort of developed as ENFT developed?
That was there from the get-go. So, well, we started with the on-chain awards, and we always knew we were going to end with Regal Eagles. So, right, like the Regal Eagles, like we've talked about, are eligible for 2% of the marketplace fees along with the other collections, but they're also eligible for one of the things that we came across on Avalanche was a thing called reflection, where if you invest in a project, you can receive royalties on each successive sale of the project. Mm-hmm. So it was our we're also doing that. We're planning on utilizing that with Regal Eagles as well. So those that invest in Regal Eagles, when Regal Eagles get sold on the secondary market, you'll also receive sales of, wow, okay, I need to find a way to get back on the front foot here.
Very good. Very good.
Are we moving towards that thing where it's like the king's just...
Or it's just, well, you still have a rook. You should take my knight now, which
oh yeah, there it is, just dangling down there.
Just dangling. Now see if you can defend against the pawn and king.
All right, what can I do? I gotta get it out of the way.
But so yeah, the Regal Eagles, that was always a drop that was planned.
Yes, so we were always planning on doing Regal Eagles. With the, you know, we had a pretty big, you know, our goal, right, was to utilize and make this a community funded project.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're investing in Regal Eagles, you're essentially also owning the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And by owning the marketplace, now you want to take part in all the, you want to make sure that, you know, people are utilizing it, right? So now the effort drives forward for us in terms of adding liquidity to the marketplace. So making sure that projects are aware of us, making sure that they know the benefits that come with investing in UBI.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. All right.
It's cute, isn't it?
I see what you're doing. We're in this like little standstill here.
Why? I thought you was.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Because now you're still gonna get here. See, this is not situational awareness at all.
Yeah, I'll make a rook though.
Oh man.
You still have a decent position now, actually, because of that. That little pawn of yours.
I'm just getting ready. Just.
I have accepted that I lose my rook here.
Yeah. If I saw the, I have to do it though, right? Like I can't. I don't have any other. I guess
You get a rook out of it, so it seems like a decent trade. Don't you think?
Well, will I get a rook? Because as soon as I move it, you're gonna take it.
Oh, I mean, you'll make a queen. I'll take the queen, and you'll take my rook. So you're exchanging a pawn for a rook here. It's not bad.
You're gonna have a queen here.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't get back there in time.
And I.
That's a fine print. You always got to read.
Yeah. But I did see a question here.
Yes. Great closing question. The Cryptoville question. This is something, and maybe as we wrap up this game, we'll take a second to sort of talk about the hopes and dreams and whatnot that ENFT has, and where you see it. The question is, what is your personal dream? What is one personal dream of yours for ENFT down the line?
Yeah, I mean, we want to become a self-sustaining marketplace, right? Ultimately, the goal is for you know, us to become the marketplace that people on the ElrondNetwork utilize, right? And we reach a point where users are coming and everybody's receiving, you know, $2, at least $2 per day.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the buying and selling, and then as you know, over time, who knows, we can continue to roll out features. But you know, I've spent a decent amount of time working in the different around the, you know, different teams and different size companies around the world. I can tell you this is the most fun I've had in terms of developing out and working on a project. So I'd like to continue selfishly. I'd like to continue doing this. And so my dream is to make this marketplace a reality, make sure that, the long-term vision is everybody's benefiting from the usage of it, right? We've got new projects minting on it, existing projects utilizing it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things ultimately we want to roll down the road is creator ability to implement reflection. So, hopefully our ethos and community first and focused driven goals are continue to be utilized by everybody else in the community, and other projects that pop up. Start thinking about how can we continue to reward those that have chosen to invest with us. Those are long-term goals. I just like you guys. I like chatting with you. I like interacting with you guys on a daily basis. It's a lot of fun for me.
Yes. And so maybe you want to talk a little bit about that too, and like the as a closer, as sort of the closing shill here, like how can projects approach you and about collaborations, and what do you guys offer? Why should they do that? What's your
So I mean, our pitch, right, is I don't know what I can draw this out, or at any point I think this game will end in a matter of.
I'll make this
seconds.
a teachable moment. I'll show people how to checkmate easily with a queen and a king against a lone king. You just have to accept my queen sacrifice here. Take my queen. Thank you.
All right. So for projects that haven't minted yet, we'll work very closely with you, right? At least initially, work closely with you to make sure you understand the steps to create. Right now, it's a 5-step process. It takes about 5 minutes, and it costs, I think, under $10 for you to create a collection on the UBI Marketplace. So we'll work with you. We'll make sure that we're doing marketing on our side to promote the mints that you have coming out. And then for current projects that are out there that are looking to be listed or looking to be verified, like I said, we've created a safe, fast, and easy platform. And we want to make sure that the community benefits. So come to our platform, verify with us, and make sure you're part of our community, whether that's owning an on-chain warrior, a Regal Eagle, or an Eagle Vault, and your project itself can benefit from the transactions that are taking place on the marketplace. So, we're continuing to communicate with different projects out there, get people excited about listing with us, making sure that people understand that we are a viable marketplace, and we've got a bunch of features rolling out over the next month around making the usability a lot more making it a lot more user-friendly in terms of being able to find active listings, being able to find things that you're looking for, what are things going for, what are the sale prices, things like that. We launched with the goal of making it safe, fast, and easy to mint, list, and buy and withdraw, those 4 things. And so we achieved those 4 things. Now we're focusing on usability on the marketplace. So making sure that you understand, okay, where can I find what I've listed? Where can I find what other listings are out there? How can I see what other projects are there? Those things are what we're heads down focused on at the moment.
Awesome. Would you know how to checkmate in this position if you were black? Or would you just make random queen moves?
I would just make random queen moves. I would try and draw the queen closer to, or the king closer to the king that's currently on the board.
Yeah. I'll show you the fail-safe version of this, okay? So what you do here is you put the queen a knight's move away, right? So this is how a knight would move, right? That's how you put it. And then you establish this sort of box by doing that. And the king can't get out. So make any king move here you want. You have a few options. Okay? And here we're going to start playing Simon Says. So if you go down, I'm going to go down. Now the box is a little bit smaller. And you have a little bit less leeway. The distance of the queen and the king remains unchanged. So if you go there, where do you think I'll go?
Down as well.
Up here, right?
I go up, yeah.
Simon Says there, and then now we have this, and just make some quick moves. Exactly. So I'll follow here, and if you go here, I'll follow this way, and basically you're going to end up in this corner soon.
Yeah.
So here again, right? You go diagonally down. I'll follow.
Now I can only go.
Now you can only go here, and this is the big trick here. Once you reach this corner, one of them.
Yeah.
If I go here, you will be stalemated, and it's a draw because the queen is attacking this, and this, but you're not in check and you can't move. So this would be a draw. This is how a lot of inexperienced players draw this. So you need your king to protect this square where you can checkmate.
So you got to get there
every single time. So you're going to be just moving back and forth because you have no other option. And I just bring in my king. And once my king protects this square, this square, this square, or this square, I can just draw my queen here and mate you. So, because you played such a great game, I'll stalemate you and show you what not to do. But, so now I would have to play here. This is checkmate, and this is stalemate, because, as you can see, your king has nowhere to go because of these attacks. But it's not in check.
Yep.
So that's how a game. That's how you mess up a game. Thank you so much for this. I'll stop my share so people can say bye. Yeah, thank you so much for the chat. Thanks for being up for this. Wish you guys the best of luck, of course. Everybody should go follow you guys on Twitter if you want to post that somewhere. I'll post that in the description of this video later. And yeah, thank you so much for the work you guys do. Really looking forward to seeing what's next. Really looking forward to seeing the updates for UBI. That should be fun.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Lucas, for having me. I would say, projects out there, follow us, ElrondNFT on Twitter. Reach out to us. Our DMs are always open. You can always email me as well, ben@ElrondNFT.io. We want to see everybody succeed. We want, the ElrondNetwork to become, truly one of the leaders in the crypto space. So, that doesn't mean one succeeds and others fail. That means everybody succeeds. So thanks for having me on. And we'll be sharing out details. I'll share a link to this as well after the fact so that people can watch at their leisure and watch a chess lesson in in real time.
Just a tiny one at the end there. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for all the educational work you guys do as well. Good thing to see. Yeah. Good thing to see good humans on this platform as well. Looking forward to talking to you guys soon. And thank you everybody for watching. I'll do this again soon, probably next week, with a very special guest.
Great.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Lucas. Have a good day.
See you guys.